There was a time when Sara Blakely was just another struggling salesperson driving from town to town, knocking on doors and hearing the same word over and over again. No. No, we're not interested. No, we already have a supplier. No, come back another day. Every rejection felt like another reminder that success was for someone else. But what nobody knew was that those difficult years were quietly preparing her for something extraordinary. Sara was born in Clearwater, Florida, growing up. She wasn't the smartest student in class, nor was she considered a future business genius. In fact, she experienced failure early and often. She failed the LSAT, the exam required for law school. Not once, twice. For many people, that would have been devastating. For Sara, it became a turning point. Instead of allowing failure to define her, she learned something that would eventually change her life forever. She learned that failure wasn't the opposite of success. Failure was part of success. After college, she worked various jobs while trying to figure out what she wanted to do with her future. Eventually, she found herself selling fax machines door to door. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't exciting. And it certainly wasn't easy. Every day she faced rejection from strangers, yet without realizing it, she was developing one of the most valuable skills any entrepreneur could possess: resilience. The ability to hear no and keep going. The ability to believe in yourself when nobody else does. The ability to continue forward when success seems impossible. Years passed. While many of her friends were building traditional careers, Sara was still searching for her opportunity. Then one day, something happened that would change everything. It wasn't a business meeting. It wasn't an investor presentation. It wasn't a breakthrough invention. It happened in front of a mirror. As she prepared for an event, Sara wanted to wear a pair of white pants. There was just one problem. The available undergarments created visible lines that ruined the look she wanted. Frustrated, she grabbed a pair of pantyhose and did something unusual. She cut off the feet. Suddenly, the pants looked better. The silhouette looked smoother. The fit felt different. It was a simple moment. A tiny inconvenience. A problem millions of women had experienced. Most people would have forgotten about it by the next day. Sara couldn't stop thinking about it. The idea stayed with her. What if there was a product specifically designed to solve this problem? What if women everywhere were looking for the same solution? And what if nobody had created it yet? The more she thought about it, the more convinced she became that she had discovered an opportunity hiding in plain sight. But there was one major problem. She knew absolutely nothing about the fashion industry. She had no manufacturing experience, no investors, no wealthy family connections, no business degree, no team, no office, no factory, nothing. All she had was an idea and $5,000 in savings. Most people would have talked themselves out of it. Most people would have waited until they had more money, more experience, more certainty. But Sara made a decision that would change her life forever. She decided to bet on herself. With her savings on the line, she began researching how products were made. She called manufacturers. She asked questions. She took notes. And again, she heard the same response. No, we can't help you. That product won't work. No, there's no market for it. No, we're not interested. The rejections continued. But this time they felt different. Because now she wasn't just selling fax machines. She was chasing a dream. And she wasn't about to quit. What happened next would test her determination in ways she never imagined. Because the hardest part of her journey was only beginning.
If you've ever had an idea that seemed impossible to bring to life, what happened next in Sara's journey will feel surprisingly familiar. With only $5,000 in savings and no experience in fashion, manufacturing, or product development, Sara Blakely began chasing a dream that most people considered unrealistic. Every spare moment became dedicated to learning. During the day, she continued working her sales job. At night, she researched fabrics, manufacturing processes, patents, and business strategies. There was no internet filled with step-by-step tutorials, no online courses, no social media entrepreneurs sharing their secrets. She had to figure everything out on her own, and that was exactly what she did. She started calling hosiery manufacturers across the United States, one after another, again and again. The answers sounded painfully familiar. No, we don't make products like that. There's no demand. It won't sell. Some manufacturers didn't even take her seriously. Others dismissed the idea within minutes. Many never returned her calls. Weeks turned into months. Most entrepreneurs would have given up. But Sara had developed something powerful during her years of door-to-door sales. She had become comfortable with rejection. Each no simply pushed her toward the next conversation. Each closed door forced her to knock on another. Then something unexpected happened. A manufacturer in North Carolina agreed to listen. At first, even he wasn't convinced. The concept sounded strange, unproven, risky. But according to the story later shared by Sara, the manufacturer's daughters believed the idea made sense. They understood the problem immediately. And sometimes that's all it takes. One person, one conversation, one opportunity. For the first time, someone was willing to help. The dream was no longer just an idea in her head. It was becoming real. But creating a product was only the beginning. Now she faced another challenge: protecting her invention. Most people would have hired an expensive attorney. Sara couldn't afford one. So she did something that perfectly captures her entrepreneurial mindset. She decided to learn the process herself. She spent hours studying patent applications, reading legal documents, teaching herself concepts she had never encountered before. While others saw obstacles, she saw skills she could learn. Eventually, she filed her own patent. Think about that for a moment. A woman with no legal background, no fashion background, no manufacturing background, creating a product from scratch and navigating complex legal processes largely on her own. It wasn't confidence that kept her moving. It was determination. Because confidence often comes after success. Determination comes before it. Months later, she finally held the first prototypes in her hands. This was the moment she had imagined countless times. The product existed. The idea was real. The dream had taken shape, but reality wasn't perfect. The first versions had flaws. Some needed adjustments. Others required redesigns. New problems appeared almost immediately, and every solution cost money. Money she didn't have much of. While friends and family questioned what she was doing, Sara continued investing time, energy, and resources into something nobody could guarantee would work. There were moments of doubt, moments of fear, moments when walking away would have been easier. Yet she kept going. Because deep down, she believed she wasn't the only woman facing this problem. She believed millions of women were waiting for a solution, even if they didn't know it yet. As the product improved, another realization hit her. Creating the product wasn't enough. She had to convince stores to sell it, and that challenge would prove even harder than manufacturing it. Major retailers weren't looking for unknown inventors. They weren't searching for first-time entrepreneurs. And they certainly weren't waiting for a former fax machine salesperson with a brand new idea. Still, Sara packed samples, prepared presentations, and began approaching buyers. Meeting after meeting, store after store, rejection after rejection. Some buyers barely listened. Others smiled politely before saying no. Many couldn't imagine customers wanting such a product. The dream that had survived manufacturing patents and financial pressure was now facing its biggest test yet. Because if retailers refused to carry the product, everything she had worked for could disappear. And then came the meeting that would change her life forever. A meeting that could transform a struggling entrepreneur into a business success story, or end the journey completely. What happened inside that room would determine the future of Sara Blakely and the future of a company called Spanx.
By now, Sara Blakely had done something most people never do. She had taken an idea that existed only in her imagination and transformed it into a real product. But creating the product was never the ultimate challenge. Getting people to buy it was. And that's where the real battle began. Every entrepreneur eventually reaches a moment where belief collides with reality. For Sara, that moment arrived when she started approaching major retailers. She knew that if large department stores refused to carry her product, her dream could end before it ever truly began. At the time, she wasn't a fashion executive. She wasn't a celebrity. She wasn't backed by investors. She was simply a woman with a product she believed could improve the lives of millions. The problem was convincing everyone else. Meeting after meeting, she heard the same thing. No, we don't see the market. We already sell similar products. We're not interested. The responses were discouraging. Some buyers barely paid attention. Others dismissed the idea almost immediately. But Sara refused to quit because she understood something many people never learn. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is often much smaller than it appears. Sometimes it's simply the willingness to continue after everyone else has stopped. Then came one of the most important meetings of her life, a meeting with a buyer from a major department store. This was her chance, maybe her only chance. As she entered the room, she knew she had to do something different. Traditional presentations weren't working. Facts weren't working. Statistics weren't working. So she decided to show the product instead. She asked the buyer to see the difference with his own eyes. At first, he seemed skeptical. Then something unexpected happened. The buyer understood. For the first time, someone in a position of power truly saw the value of what she had created. It wasn't just another product. It solved a real problem. And real solutions have value. That meeting opened a door, then another, and another. Slowly, major retailers began placing orders. Not huge orders. Not enough to make her rich, but enough to prove that customers wanted the product. For the first time, money started coming in. Customers were buying.
Women were telling friends. Word was spreading. The idea that so many people had rejected was beginning to find an audience. But success created a new problem: demand. As orders increased, Sara faced challenges she had never experienced before. Manufacturing had to increase. Inventory had to be managed. Retail relationships had to be maintained. Every new victory created new responsibilities. Many businesses collapse during this stage, not because they fail, because they grow faster than they can handle. Sara suddenly found herself responsible for decisions that affected her company's future every single day. The pressure was enormous. There were moments when everything felt overwhelming, moments when mistakes could have destroyed years of work. Yet, she continued moving forward. One step at a time, one customer at a time, one order at a time. And then came the moment every entrepreneur dreams about. The moment when the world suddenly notices what you've been building in silence. A moment that cannot be purchased. A moment that cannot be forced. A moment that changes everything. Because somewhere else in America, one of the most influential women in media was about to discover Sara's product, and she loved it. What happened next would transform Spanx from a promising business into one of the most recognizable brands in the country. And Sara Blakely's life would never be the same. But that story begins in the next chapter.
For years, Sara Blakely had been fighting a battle that nobody could see. While the world continued as normal, she was making calls, solving problems, handling rejections, and building her company one customer at a time. There were no headlines, no television interviews, no magazine covers, just hard work. The kind of work that happens behind closed doors, the kind of work most people never witness. But sometimes, after years of persistence, everything changes in a single moment. And for Sara, that moment arrived when one of the most influential women in America discovered her product. At the time, millions of people trusted Oprah Winfrey's recommendations. If Oprah loved something, the country paid attention. Her opinion could launch books, products, and businesses almost overnight. And one day, Oprah tried Spanx. She immediately understood what made it different. It solved a problem. It was practical. It worked. And most importantly, women loved it. Soon after, Oprah selected Spanx as one of her favorite products. What happened next exceeded even Sara's biggest dreams. The phones started ringing. Orders began pouring in. Customers rushed to stores looking for the product. Retailers suddenly wanted more inventory, more shipments, more stock, more everything. The company that had struggled for years to gain attention was suddenly at the center of a nationwide conversation. It felt unreal. One day, Sara was still fighting for every sale. The next, demand was exploding across the country. For many entrepreneurs, this would have been the happiest moment of their lives. And in many ways it was. But rapid growth creates new challenges. Because success doesn't eliminate problems. It simply replaces old problems with bigger ones. Now Sara had to scale. Manufacturing had to increase dramatically. New retailers wanted partnerships. The company needed systems, employees, logistics, and leadership. The stakes had become much higher. Every decision mattered. Every mistake carried greater consequences. Yet Sara remained remarkably focused. She never forgot where the company began. She never forgot the years of rejection. And she never forgot the simple problem she originally wanted to solve. That mindset became one of her greatest strengths. While many companies become distracted by success, Sara stayed connected to her customers. She listened.
She observed, she learned, and the business continued growing. Month after month, year after year, revenue increased, brand awareness expanded, new opportunities appeared. What had started with $5,000 and a simple idea was becoming one of the most successful entrepreneurial stories in America. Then came another milestone, one that very few entrepreneurs ever reach: financial independence. For the first time, Sara realized she had built something extraordinary. Not just a product, not just a company, a brand, a movement, a business capable of changing lives, including her own. The woman who once drove from office to office selling fax machines was now leading a rapidly growing enterprise. The same woman who had failed important exams, the same woman who had heard thousands of rejections, the same woman many people had underestimated. She was proving them all wrong. But the most incredible chapter of the story was still ahead. Because Sara Blakely wasn't just becoming successful. She was approaching a milestone so rare that only a tiny fraction of entrepreneurs ever achieve it. A milestone measured not in thousands, not in millions, but in billions. And in the next chapter, the world would discover just how valuable her idea had truly become. There comes a moment in every extraordinary success story when the impossible becomes reality. For Sara Blakely, that moment had finally arrived. Years earlier, she had been driving from office to office selling fax machines. She had no investors, no wealthy family connections, no business degree, no experience in the fashion industry, and only $5,000 to her name. Now, everything was different. Spanx was growing at an incredible pace. Women across America were buying the product. Retailers were expanding their orders. The brand had become a household name. And what began as a simple idea in front of a mirror was becoming a business empire. But the most remarkable part wasn't the money. It was what the money represented. Every dollar of revenue was proof that she had been right. Proof that persistence matters. Proof that rejection doesn't determine your future. Proof that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things. As the years passed, Spanx continued expanding. New products were introduced. New customers discovered the brand. Sales continued climbing higher and higher. Industry experts were amazed. Many couldn't believe that a company started by a single woman without outside investors had become such a powerful force. Sara had built something extremely rare. A company that was profitable. A company that customers genuinely loved. A company that had disrupted an entire industry. Then came the milestone that would place her among the most successful entrepreneurs in America. Forbes estimated her net worth had reached $1 billion. Just like that, Sara Blakely became one of the youngest self-made female billionaires in the United States. Think about how extraordinary that is. Not born into wealth, not inheriting a fortune, not receiving millions from investors. She built it herself. One decision, one risk, one rejection, one customer at a time. The headlines celebrated her success. Business magazines featured her story. Entrepreneurs around the world wanted to learn from her journey. But what surprised many people was how grounded she remained. Despite her success, Sara often spoke openly about failure. In fact, she believed failure had been one of the greatest gifts of her life. She often shared a lesson her father taught her when she was young. At dinner, he would ask what they had failed at that week. Not what they had succeeded at, what they had failed at. Because if they weren't failing, they probably weren't taking enough risks. That philosophy stayed with her forever. And perhaps that's what made her story so powerful. She wasn't fearless. She simply refused to let fear make her decisions. As Spanx continued growing, opportunities appeared from every direction. Partnerships, investments, expansion, global recognition. The company had become one of the most recognizable brands in the world. Yet Sara still remembered the woman sitting alone in her apartment wondering if she was making a mistake. She remembered the unanswered phone calls, the manufacturers who said no, the buyers who rejected her, the moments when giving up would have been easier. And maybe that's why success felt different, because she had earned every inch of it. Then came another historic moment. One of the largest investment firms in the world recognized the incredible value of the company she had built. The business that started with $5,000 was now worth billions. Billions. A number almost impossible to imagine when she first cut the feet off a pair of pantyhose. The world saw a billionaire. But behind that title was something much more important. A woman who believed in an idea when nobody else did. A woman who continued moving forward after thousands of rejections. A woman who transformed frustration into innovation, and innovation into an empire. Yet perhaps the greatest measure of success wasn't found in her bank account. It was found in the millions of people inspired by her story. People who realized that extraordinary success often begins with an ordinary problem. People who discovered that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's taking action despite fear. People who learned that sometimes the biggest opportunities are hidden inside the smallest moments. And that lesson would become the foundation of Sara Blakely's legacy. But her impact on the world extended far beyond business. Because in the years that followed, she would dedicate herself to helping others believe in possibilities they couldn't yet see. And that final chapter may be the most inspiring part of her story. We'll continue there next.
Every great success story eventually reaches a point where money is no longer the goal. For Sara Blakely, that point had arrived. She had achieved what most entrepreneurs only dream about: financial freedom, global recognition, a billion-dollar company, a legacy that would forever change the business world. But success has a way of revealing what truly matters. And for Sara, it was never just about building wealth. It was about creating possibilities for herself, for her family, and eventually for countless others. Looking back, her journey seemed almost unbelievable. A young woman selling fax machines, a failed law school dream, thousands of rejections, $5,000 in savings, and one simple idea. No one could have predicted where that idea would lead. Yet every chapter of her story carried a lesson that applies far beyond business. Because most people spend their lives waiting for certainty, waiting for permission, waiting for the perfect moment. Sara discovered something different. The perfect moment rarely arrives. The people who change their lives are often the ones who move forward before they feel ready. They take action while others hesitate. They learn while others doubt. They begin while others are still planning. That mindset transformed her future. And eventually, it transformed the lives of many others. As her influence grew, Sara became passionate about helping entrepreneurs, especially women. She understood how difficult it could be to believe in yourself when nobody else does. She understood what it felt like to hear rejection over and over again. She understood the loneliness of building something from nothing, because she had lived it.
And that gave her advice a different kind of power. It wasn't theory, it was experience. She often encouraged aspiring entrepreneurs to embrace failure. Not tolerate it, embrace it. Because every mistake contains information. Every setback teaches a lesson. Every rejection develops resilience. And resilience is often the difference between success and surrender. Perhaps that is the greatest secret behind her extraordinary journey. She didn't avoid failure. She learned how to use it. The same failures that once felt painful became the foundation of her future success. The same obstacles that seemed impossible became stepping stones. The same doubts that once surrounded her became motivation. And over time, the impossible became reality. Today, Sara Blakely's story continues to inspire entrepreneurs around the world. Not because she became wealthy, not because she became famous, but because she proved something important. You don't need permission to pursue an idea. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need a powerful network. You don't need investors. You don't need everyone to believe in you. Sometimes all you need is the courage to believe in yourself long enough for the rest of the world to catch up. That is the true power of her story. A reminder that greatness often begins in ordinary places. Inside small apartments, inside old cars, inside difficult jobs, inside moments that seem insignificant at the time. Because the future rarely announces itself. Opportunities often arrive disguised as inconveniences, challenges, problems, frustrations. The very things most people try to avoid. For Sara, the billion-dollar idea began with a simple frustration in front of a mirror. A moment so ordinary that most people would have forgotten it by the next morning. She didn't. She paid attention. And that decision changed everything. Perhaps that's the lesson hidden inside this incredible journey. The next opportunity may already be in front of you. The next breakthrough may already exist in your daily life. The next chapter of your story may be waiting inside a problem nobody else has solved. Sara Blakely saw possibility where others saw inconvenience. She saw opportunity where others saw rejection. She saw a future where others saw obstacles. And because she refused to quit, she transformed a simple idea into one of the most remarkable entrepreneurial success stories of modern times. From $5,000 to $1 billion empire, from rejection to recognition, from uncertainty to legacy. And it all began with one decision: to believe in herself when nobody else did. This is the story of Sara Blakely, and perhaps the beginning of someone else's story too. The end.